Today we're going on another quick and easy trip. When I was looking up how to get where I was going though, it turned out that there was a bus option, but the bus took like 45 minutes. But then it only takes 55 minutes to walk there. So I'd really rather not deal with the bus, so I'll just walk. And maybe it's just me, and maybe I'm crazy. But it's amazing how much different a New York mindset is, that you can look at a walking trip that's gonna take about 55 minutes and say, yeah, okay. It never would have crossed my mind to walk anywhere for an hour in Houston unless I was walking for exercise. By the way, happy Valentine's Day for those who celebrate. So yesterday was the day of the big snowstorm. There's still a little bit of snow on the ground. You can still see the carnage of sledding excitement on the hills out here. Where we're going today is actually right over there. We're going to Randall's Island. See over here we got the Hellgate and the Triborough bridge right there. There's a little footbridge over there that we're going to walk up to and cross over onto Randall's Island and then have a look around. Like I said, no ferries or anything like that today. We're walking. The ferry dock is right here. There goes the ferry right now. But we're going to walk along the river here over to that bridge that's over there. It's called the Rode Island Bridge. Let's do it. This interesting looking building over here is called Asphalt Green. It was originally the borough of Manhattan's municipal asphalt plant. And when they stopped using it for that, they were looking for ways to repurpose it, and they decided to make a recreation center out of it. And that's what it is today. The bridge is a little further away than it appeared to be. That's okay. It's not that far. It was really cold this morning when I walked the kids to school, and now I'm overdressed. I'm gonna have to peel some of this off. I'm confused by this. It might be art, but it might not be. Just a friendly reminder. One of the things about Randall's Island right now is a lot of temporary migrant housing that's been set up here. I hadn't thought about that when I was walking over. Most of the people who were crossing the bridge were migrants going about their business. Never mind, there's the wind. I'm not warm at all anymore. So this used to be two islands, Randall's Island and Ward's Island. In the mid-1900s, I think the 50s and 60s, they started dumping landfill in between the two of the islands, and they became one island. So now it's Randall's Island, or Ward's Island, or Randall's Island, Ward's Island, or they're all together. It's just one. It's had a lot of different uses over the years, similar to a lot of the other little islands that are around here. They've had various insane asylums and hospitals and potter's fields, burial grounds, all that stuff's going on here too. But even my favorite, the Idiot Asylum, which is what they actually called it in the 1800s. As idiot was actually a classification of mental illness. Yes. Along with, I believe, moron. Those were the days. There are still hospitals and psychiatric institutes here, I believe, but no more idiot asylums. Oops, I just slipped on ice. So what I'm doing is walking around the outside edge. There's a trail that runs around the outside of the island. Started the bridge, I'm going to walk around over to where the Hellgate and the Triborough bridges are. Now the RFK, as we know from the sign. Just came across this bridge that crosses over into the salt marsh. And this is not the way that I was going to go, but I'm curious. So I'm off in a new direction now. I don't think there's much to see here. It's beautiful, but looks like just a nature trail. right, the trail led to a parking lot outside the stadium here. Okay, let's go back. What I didn't mention is that the name of this is actually Little Hellgate Salt Marsh, which is cute, because this is Hellgate. I've heard different backgrounds behind. One of them is Hellgate is the part of the river that was very dangerous to navigate, hence the name. But the other is that it was from a Dutch name. So I can't remember which is correct. I've noticed as I've been doing this that in the colder expeditions that I go on, sometimes I'm not pronouncing things very clearly because it's so cold that my mouth is frozen. So that's my excuse. Back to the original trail. There's a train heading across the Hellgate Bridge right now. This is the elevated train line that leads up to the Hellgate Bridge, which is over that way. This is one of the things I want to come over and see because I'd seen stuff on the internet about this trail that runs through the train line. It looked pretty cool. So let's go walk that. This is pretty cool. The camera doesn't do it justice. Just walking through all these arches. It's a neat architectural effect. You can hear the trains going overhead. I haven't seen anyone else on this trail today. I imagine this gets pretty good use when it's nice outside. It's pretty cold though. When they started to redevelop the island and put the landfill in that ended up connecting the two islands, one of the things that they envisioned using it for was parks land, and that's still what they use it for today. There are lots of soccer fields here and other fields. It's nice. The bridge is so high above me. It's crazy. Well, we reached the end where the overpass thing terminates into the actual bridge. So now we're going to head out and around. We'll head over toward the Triborough, which is over there, and look back at the Hellgate. The wind is so cold. This is kind of random. Maybe it's art. So this is the Hellgate Bridge. If you notice, it's kind of red on the ends here. The whole thing used to be painted this vibrant red, but when they chose the paint for it, the city apparently didn't paint it with paint that had UV protection in it. So it fades very quickly and you're left with this kind of gray bridge. Apparently the red was beautiful though. It's a shame, really. It's a beautiful bridge though. From an architectural perspective, these towers on the ends are purely decorative. They don't really serve any function for the bridge at all because the bridge supports itself in the span here. But they're loosely based on like an Arc de Triomphe type structure, so it's beautiful. Very nice. The design of this bridge was so well received that that famous bridge in Sydney, Australia is based off of this design. These are not art. They're nature things because they're all over the place. This one might be for birds or bees, or the birds and the bees. It's hard to say. First runner I've passed on the trail today. Aside from the fact that it's freezing right now, this is a really nice little park. Good views of these bridges too. Now we're coming up on the Triborough Bridge, which, as the sign reminded us, is now the RFK Bridge. On the other side that way is Queens. Back over this way is the Upper East Side, Manhattan. It's amazing how big things like bridges are when you get right up next to them. It's impressive. Somewhere right over there you can see Asphalt Green, which is where we were a while ago back on the Upper East Side. And now we're directly under the Triborough. Nice little park, good bridge views, very cold. Got some crazy currents going on right now. I got off the trail there for a minute. It's kind of a sloppy mess over here. That might be a bathroom, but I'm not actually sure. All right, I've done the loop that I was planning on doing, and now I'm heading back toward that footbridge that'll take me back over to Manhattan. And man, it is still cold. It's not that it's that cold outside temperature-wise. The wind is crazy. This is all that migrant housing over here. It's frustrating some people because it's taking up a lot of the field space that was there for public use. We've wrapped back around. We got the Upper East Side right over there. The bridge to get back is over here. We'll head that way and walk back over. I am back up to the east side, even though I didn't really go very far. Randall's Island right over there. Nice parks. Good little trip. A nice little morning, a good little walk. I'm gonna head home and grab some lunch. I'll see you next time.